Why would a man with supernatural strength fall for a woman who only wanted to destroy him? Why would someone chosen before birth, set apart by God, give up his destiny for a moment of pleasure? That's the haunting reality behind Samson's fall. A story not just of betrayal, but of weakness hidden under power. It didn't happen all at once. Lust crept in slowly, softly, secretly. It didn't knock down the door. It whispered through it, waited in the silence, and struck when his heart was tired. Samson didn't fall because he was weak. He fell because he thought he was too strong to fall. From the outside, Samson looked unstoppable. He tore lions apart with his bare hands. He carried city gates on his shoulders. He destroyed armies. But inside, he was slowly crumbling. There was a crack in his armor that no one could see. He craved affection, connection, validation. He didn't want just love. He wanted to feel wanted. And that's where lust entered. It didn't come as a monster. It came in the form of Delilah, soft, beautiful, comforting, and dangerous. She didn't scream like an enemy. She smiled like a friend, and that's why she was deadly. The first reason Samson secretly fell into lust was because he confused love with attention. His heart was never truly healed. As a Nazirite, he was different from birth, set apart, isolated, and sometimes people who are set apart just want to feel normal. Samson wanted what others had. Someone to hold, someone to see him beyond the strength. But instead of finding someone who valued his purpose, he found someone who played with his weakness. Delilah didn't love Samson. She studied him. Every touch, every question, every moment was a step closer to his destruction. But Samson couldn't see it. Because lust blinds. It tells you what you want to hear. It looks like affection when it's really control. The second reason Samson fell was because he played with temptation. He didn't run from Delilah, he stayed. He knew something was wrong. She asked about his secret more than once. And each time he lied and she tried to trap him. That should have been enough. But he stayed. He returned. He laid his head in the same lap that was working with his enemies. That's how lust works. It makes you feel safe where you should be fleeing. It numbs your senses, softens your judgment. You think you're in control, but you're already trapped. Lust doesn't need to be fast. It's patient. It waits until you're too weak to say no. The third reason was pride. Samson believed his strength made him untouchable. He had defeated so many before. Why would this be any different? He didn't realize his strength was not his own. It came from God. And once he began to treat his gift like a toy instead of a calling, he was already losing. Pride tells you you're too strong to fall, that you can play with fire and not get burned. But pride is the doorway lust walks through. Samson's downfall wasn't sudden. It was slow. One compromise at a time. One night at a time. Until finally he told Delilah the truth. And when he did, she wasted no time. The moment she cut his hair, his strength left him. But it wasn't just about the hair. It was about the vow, the promise, the covering. Samson had given up the one thing that connected him to his purpose, for a woman who never truly loved him. That's the fourth reason. He trusted the wrong voice. Delilah spoke softly, but her words were sharp. She asked about his heart, not to protect it, but to expose it. And Samson, tired and numb, gave her what the enemy wanted. The fifth reason is the most painful. Samson thought he could always recover, that he could sin and still stand, that he could wake up and shake off the chains like before. But this time, when he woke up, nothing happened. No power, no fire, just silence. The Lord had left him, and he didn't even know it. That's what lust does. It drains you slowly. It keeps taking until there's nothing left. Samson was left blind, bound, and broken. The man who once destroyed thousands was now walking in circles, grinding grain like an animal. But even in that darkness, something began to change. His hair started to grow again. Not just his hair, his heart. He remembered who he was. He cried out one last time, not in pride, but in brokenness, and God heard him. Samson's final act was not just revenge, it was redemption. But his story reminds us, when lust is allowed to grow in secret, it can steal everything. It promises pleasure but leaves behind pain. It feels like love but leads to loss. Samson didn't fall because of one bad choice. He fell because of many small ones he kept in the dark. His story isn't just about Delilah. It's about what happens when strength becomes a shield to hide weakness. When you stop guarding your purpose, when you think you're too anointed to fall. That's when the enemy strikes, not with a sword, but with a whisper. The truth is, lust doesn't care how strong you are. It only needs a door. And if that door stays open, it will take your vision, your purpose, your destiny. But there's still hope. Even in chains, Samson's prayer moved heaven. Even in failure, God gave him one last moment to stand. That's the beauty of grace. It meets you in the ruins. But why wait to fall before crying out? Why wait until your strength is gone before surrendering? Samson's story is a warning, but also a wake-up call. Lust is not a game. It's a slow poison. And if you don't fight it now, it will wait for the perfect moment to strike when you're tired, alone, and unguarded. The question isn't whether you're chosen. The question is, are you watching the door?